Likely the single most valuable skill or valuable practice I ever started was gratitude practice. A lot of my gratitude practice has happened in the form of a written gratitude practice. I did a lot of daily journaling. That wasn't so much daily journaling as it was a daily to-do list, but on my daily to-do list every day was gratitude, and to the left of my to-do list I would write out anything, anywhere between 5 to like 15 things I was grateful for. And I ended up doing this for hundreds of days, on and off for years. And gratitude is something that, thanks to this practice, I can lean into on a moment's notice. Why has this been one of the most beneficial things in my entire life? Because over the last 5 to 10 years, I've gone through some shit. I've been in some tough situations. I've been without a job, without money, without a house, all at the same time. I've been very close to being without a roof over my head while not having money, while not having a job, and pulled out of that. And you may be saying, what does gratitude have to do with this? And the thing is I do have a set of beliefs that have helped guide me through these many obstacles that have come up in my life. Sometimes the obstacle is me quitting a job when I'm not having another job lined up. Other times the obstacle is something completely out of my control. However, I truly believe that in these dark moments, that if I can remain grateful for what I have and for what I will have, while also providing as much value as I can to myself and the world, that I'll be taken care of. And I don't necessarily know how I'm going to get taken care of. In some cases, it's shown up as the perfect place to rent at the perfect moment with the perfect people, or it's been the perfect job at the right time at the right place, and might not even be the perfect job long term. There might just be some things at that job that are lessons that I was ready to learn. A good example is this most recent job. It was a very short-lived job. I was working in a dairy cooler, and oftentimes I would see these creamer bottles that said something about a morning ritual, and it kept saying morning ritual, morning ritual. And it called out to me, and I really felt like, hey, I need to make my mornings more sacred. And I find myself oftentimes enjoying a nice cup of coffee with my neighbors, and I've been able to really lean into enjoying that community time and sitting back and relaxing and shooting the shit with the neighbors while having a cup of coffee and treating that time as sacred. So instead of the usual feeling, because what happened at first when I was first trying to lean into this is I'd be over there for a while and I'd be having my coffee, and eventually I'd be wanting to get up to get back to the other things that I deemed important, whether it be cleaning the house, working on another video, gaming with my brother, you name it. There was many things that I wanted to get back to. And when I decided this morning ritual, this coffee, and this coffee plus community was sacred time, and allowed myself to just enjoy this time, I realized there was something there, and I got a lot out of this experience, and it's something that I'm very grateful for. And this is just one example of how I've been, in my mind, in the right place at the right time again and again and again. And the only way I'm operating through all of this is gratitude and faith, and adding as much value to the world as I can each and every day, and then trusting that that is enough, trusting that I will be taken care of as I move forward. And as I experience this time and time again, my life is becoming less and less and less stressful, and I am becoming more and more and more sure that I will be taken care of. I'm having these experiences, and it's to the point where my anxiety level used to be through the roof as I'd go through these experiences. I remember one time I was about a week before I needed to move out of one of the places. I was living in Michigan. I hadn't found a new place yet, and I happened to be talking to a life coach at the time on and off. And when I did end up moving into the new place, I was like surprised. And my life coach said, "Why are you surprised?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "You told me before this went down that every single time you go through these situations, something comes up at the last second that is exactly what you needed and exactly where you needed. So why are you surprised it happened this time?" I went through a lot of stress that time, and the last 3 or 4 times I've gone through one of these experiences, I've noticed that level of stress has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. And this last time, there was little to no stress, and what stress was involved was the stress that was being brought to me by other people who were also relying on me to make sure that I have everything I needed so that they could have everything they needed. Example, other people who rent the same room or same house as me. If I don't come up with my portion of the rent, there's a good chance that they're going to have a hard time living here. And so when I was starting to go through a situation of not having a job before getting a new job, this stressed them out. And to that degree started to stress me out a little. However, I came back into myself. I reminded myself that as long as I'm providing value, things are going to work out. And lo and behold, yet again, they have. And so I encourage you out there watching this video, if you have had a hard time living with uncertainty and you want to live a life with faith and gratitude, to give it a shot. Because in the long run, this is one of the most peaceful, freeing things I have ever done. And I do not regret starting this path for a second.